a rare flower. It grew amidst wildfires, terror, and cruelty. To live there for even a few days is to reconcile with the moon, joy, and the birds in the sky. To have even an atom of its soil linger on your clothes is to declare a truce with grief. And you now have the Tigris and Euphrates coursing through your veins. When you visit Iraq or Baghdad, to be more specific, and you start writing about it, the pen in your hand turns into a red rose that could drip blood for many years. Islamic Arab armies emerged from the Arabian Peninsula in the middle of the 17th century and overthrew the Persian Sassanid Empire, which had dominated Iraq, Iran, parts of Afghanistan, and central Turkestan, Asia. When the Islamic armies entered Iraq, they were met by a population of about 7 million Iraqis, the overwhelming majority of whom were Christians. There were minorities who were Sabians, Jews, and Manichaeans. They all spoke Syriac. Islam entered Iraq, saving people from persecution, which claimed hundreds of thousands of Iraqi Christians over the course of several centuries. The strength of Islam and its rapid spread among the people of the conquered countries offered these people the opportunity to rid themselves of their dependence and submission to foreign and tyrannical powers. It provided them with an opportunity to contribute to governance and effectively participate in the Islamic State's affairs. This took place through their conversion to Islam and volunteering to join the conquering armies while administrating the new state and enjoying the many blessings and advantages that it had to offer. Less than a century after the conquest, and as soon as the Umayyad state fell in Damascus, the conquering Arab tribal concepts lost their racial and political distinction after the overwhelming majority of these conquerors dissolved into indigenous groups through intermarriage and settling down. Thus, the Egyptians, Berbers, Syrians, Iraqis, Iranians, Turkestans, Indians, and Spaniards embraced Islam and actively participated in forming new civilizations whose religion was Islam, and their official language was Arabic. Even the groups that did not convert to Islam were still included and allowed to participate and have important civil, administrative, and political roles. The Iraqis were the quickest to adopt Arabic and Arabized faster than others. This is due to their geographical proximity to the Arabs of the Arabian Peninsula and the continuous contact their population and civilizations have had since the dawn of history. This ease of assimilation among the Iraqis allowed them to participate effectively in forming an Arab Islamic civilization from the beginning of the conquests. The Iraqis are who gave the Arabic language its grammar, eloquence, and diacritics by adapting features from the Syriac language. The two schools of Kufa and Basra were prominent constituents in this field. The American invasion was nothing new for Baghdad. Throughout history, Baghdad was in the sights of usurpers and those who sought to take advantage of it. They wreaked havoc in it. Many of us may assume that Baghdad has been only occupied a few times, a number that could be counted on one hand. However, history confirms that this ancient city was occupied and destroyed nearly 30 times before its final stage of occupation by America. These occupations have been brutal, regardless of the time that they took place in. Baghdad, the sorrowful city. It stands present, even though every earthquake it endures leaves its ruins leaning on its other ruins. It was once the mother of the entire world. The Abbasids moved the seat of the Islamic Caliphate from Damascus to Baghdad. The new city built by the Abbasids was marvelous, and it would become the capital of science and translation, and it would manage the information of various previous civilizations. This would take place in the House of Wisdom, founded by Al-Ma'mun. Its name has been associated with Harun al-Rashid and the world-famous tale of 1001 Nights. By the beginning of the 16th century, the Safavids and the Ottomans exchanged control of the city, until the Ottomans finally seized it. It remained under their rule for nearly 4 centuries. The British took control of the city in 1917, and it was subjected to the British Mandate, like most of the regions of Iraq. It would become the capital of the Kingdom of Iraq in 1921, and the Iraqi Republic in 1958. Some may consider Baghdad to be a model of corruption and violence on an indescribable scale nowadays. However, its establishment more than 1,200 years ago was a distinct achievement in urban design that holds a special place in history. It was also a landmark of civilization and a cultural compass of the world. Even Ahmed ibn Abi Yaqub al-Yaqubi, an Arab geographer, historian, and author of the book Al-Buldan, said, "The commercial location of Baghdad gave the city an opportunity to become a global intersection point. It has become the city of peace, the center of the world, and the undisputed capital of Islam. It is also the home of pioneering scientists, astronomers, poets, mathematicians, musicians, historians, jurists, and philosophers." It is hidden inside the grasp of the mosques in Baghdad. It secures you like an eyelid secures the eyes during a sandstorm. You long for its minarets to be the first thing that you see when you are feeling frail, so that you can testify and claim the shahada that there is no God but Allah. You have loved this mosque before and still do. It is the Great Imam Mosque, or the Mosque of Abu Hanifa Nu'man. It is one of the mosques and historical schools in the city of Baghdad. The area around the mosque is called the Azamiyya, in attribution to it. It is located in the north of Baghdad, on the Al-Rasafa side, and it is situated opposite of Al-Qadimiyya in relation to the shrine of Musa al-Qadim, in which it is located. The mosque was built in 375 Hijri, next to the tomb of Imam Abu Hanifa Nu'man. A shrine, dome, and a large school were built over the tomb. The Abu Hanifa School of Jurisprudence is considered one of the oldest schools and is currently known as the College of the Great Imam. It is one of the 3 oldest universities in the world. It was preceded by the University of Al-Qarawiyyin in Morocco, the Al-Azhar University in Egypt, and the University of Bologna in Italy. After the invasion of Baghdad in 2003, a military battle took place in Azamiyya, which resulted in the destruction of the mosque's minaret, clock, shrine, and various other parts of the mosque. The buildings around the mosques were destroyed, including the building of the Imam Abu Hanifa Association Forum. The people of Azamiyya cleaned the area, removed the broken glass, and traces of the battle. They protected the mosque, the shrine, and the college of the Great Imam from attempts of looting and vandalism. We apologize to you. However, your willingness to know more will lead you to the rest of its streets. Trust your intuition completely and know that your intrigue will prevent you from leaving, especially after you witness the Sarai Market. Near Al-Rashid Street and at the end of Al-Mutanabbi Street, there is a different take on Baghdad. There are libraries, papers, and pens which are writing its history. Al-Sarai Market is considered one of the oldest markets in Baghdad. Its construction coincided with the construction of the mosque of Minister Hassan Pasha. He was the son of the vizier, Muhammad Pasha. The Sarai Mosque that is found here is a dormant masterpiece of Al-Rusafa. It was built in 692 by the Caliph Ahmad al-Nasir li-Din Allah. This is proven by various historical sources. All of the kings of Iraq have prayed in it during the royal era. The mosque has 3 gates, one of which was called the Gate of King Ghazi I because it was placed during the construction of the mosque. In addition to the Haram, The mosque contains a minaret, a dome, a house for the preacher, and the Association of the Scholars of Iraq. There is also a large winter prayer hall with high domes made of gypsum and bricks. It has no decorations or inscriptions. It is simple yet refined, similar to the people of Baghdad. Its minaret is as towering as their spirits. It is built with colored Kashani stone. There is a summer prayer hall in the courtyard of the mosque. There is also a school with one teacher. There is also an area that displays prayer times and rooms inhabited by those who work at the mosque. It has 5 doors through which worshippers can enter, and it also contains 2 large gardens. You have not truly lived until you have witnessed it. It is Al-Hadra al-Qadiriyya. It is the name given to the tomb of Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jinani al-Hassani in Baghdad, in the Bab al-Sheikh area from Ar-Rusafa side. The origin of this mosque was a school called Bab al-Azuj. It was established by Abu Sa'id al-Mukharrimi. When Sheikh Abu Sa'id died, Sheikh Abdul Qadir took on his position as a teacher. When he died, he was buried there. Al-Hadra is an important architectural edifice in Baghdad. The square near it was named Al-Kilani Square. Hadrat al-Qadiriyya is considered one of the main centers of Sufism in Baghdad and Iraq. It is visited by visitors from all over the world. The Hadra al-Qadiriyya includes a mosque, a mausoleum, and a library called Al-Qadiriyya Library. This library contains several thousands of precious manuscripts in various Islamic sciences. There are also very rare writings and prints here. Its beauty is happiness that is distilled into a bottle. You can take a whiff of it as you look towards Al-Ghazal market. It is a wonderful and peculiar market. It contains small shops that sell dry grains, legumes, and herbs. It has other shops that sell pet birds and some rare wild birds such as falcons and peacocks. You can also find rare breeds of dogs and pet fish here. In the Al-Ghazal market, a minaret is found in the old mosque found in the middle of the market. The mosque is known as the Khalifa Mosque, and it was built by Caliph al-Muttaqil Billah to be the congregational mosque for Friday prayers in the east of Al-Qasr al-Hasani. It was known as the Qasr Mosque, but would later be referred to as the Khalifa Mosque. The minaret of the Khalifa Mosque is considered one of the most distinguished historical minarets. Its architecture makes it stand out, and it represents the architecture of the Abbasid Dar al-Khilafa and its mosques. The minaret was built more than 7 centuries ago. It is made of bricks, and there are inscriptions surrounding the circular surface that appears as a simple rhombic shape. They appear to be lined in a way that contrasts the shadow of the brick line. The current height of the minaret is about 26 meters. The minaret is similar in design to the Bastam minaret in Iran. When you think of your inevitable parting from it, you will cry for a long time and gasp with heartbreak. Therefore, let us turn towards the al-Qura Mosque, or the Mother of All Battles Mosque, which was the official name of the Second Gulf War in Iraq. Its construction process began at the end of 1999, and it was completed in April of 2001. It has a rectangular geometric design and an area of 20,000 square meters. Its main haram area is in the shape of a circle surrounded by 4 towers. Your heart will be attached to the edges of its walls. The summer prayer hall can accommodate 900 worshippers, and there are also 2 parking lots that can accommodate 200 cars. You will notice that the mosque is a large map of the Arab world, and in the place of Iraq, there is an 8-pointed star. There is also a large 8-pointed star in the place of the mosque. The 8-pointed star was considered a symbol of all the urban edifices that were built during the era of the late President Saddam Hussein. The minaret of the mosque was designed in the shape of the barrel of the AK-47, known as the Russian Kalashnikov, which was used by the Iraqi army infantry. Engineering may not mean anything to you, but this structure represents a summary of an era of the legacy of a people afflicted by wars. Baghdad will remain like a dagger buried in the flesh of your memories. Delicate pain that has no name or justification. It penetrates you to the bone with its fleeting, caustic moments.